The cost of procrastination and life paralysis. It's not worth it. What you want is on the other side of fear. Many of us know what it means to procrastinate for years. Procrastination is not laziness, it usually has to do with fear. It can bring plenty of emotional agony and existential doubt. Personally, I know the agony of procrastinating and feeling stuck for years. I know the agony of avoiding taking responsibility for my life. I also know the agony of choosing distractions to perpetuate confusion. At the same time, I know how to get unstuck, break the pattern, and say goodbye to procrastination, at least for a while. Let me tell you more. My biggest life paralysis made me procrastinate for years. The biggest life paralysis I've ever experienced was related to me not being sure whether I should return to my home country after years of living abroad. The fear of the unknown and anticipated regret kept me stuck for a long time. I had to learn the hard way that it's worth making that F-word decision to get to the other side of fear. Here's how sneaky and self-destructive procrastination can be. A few years after I left my home country, I began to feel homesick. At the same time, I was living in London, the city of my dreams. I loved London. However, I was unhappy there. I loved the UK. However, it didn't feel like home. I wanted to feel more stability in my life. In fact, I was feeling stuck, confused, and displaced. I was tormented by one question: should I stay or should I go? I began to consider leaving the UK, yet I was scared I would regret my decision. There would be no turning back. I felt so much conflict that I felt paralyzed, unable to move. So I chose procrastination. I got addicted to booking plane tickets and traveling compulsively. This was a great excuse that helped me delay making a tough decision I knew I had to make. Unfortunately, traveling like crazy didn't help me feel at peace with myself. I had visited many places, yet I felt depressed at not being able to find my place. I felt like a crazy fly. Here's what I mean by this. Procrastination and the crazy fly syndrome. Have you ever seen a crazy fly trying to escape a room through a closed window? The fly keeps hitting it, expecting the window pane to magically melt or crack open to let the insect out. I call this no escape situation the crazy fly syndrome. This is how I felt when I got fed up with living abroad but had no clarity about what to do next. I wanted to settle down and stay in one place. But paradoxically, I did the opposite. I chose traveling compulsively and moving from place to place. No place was good enough, so I was looking for the next place to go, hoping it would be the one this time. This is how I kept using the wrong exit to escape my predicament. This was my distraction and a way of avoiding the responsibility of staying in one place for longer. This is how I entered the vicious circle of constantly starting anew. This is how I kept hitting the closed window, unable to get out. I had to hit the closed window many times before realizing there was no escape. This was procrastination in operation. So if you're feeling stuck, try these simple things. You may have a different life situation, but feel as stuck as I did back then. If this sounds familiar, consider these 4 questions. Number 1, are you trying to do the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result? Number 2, have you considered doing the opposite or something at least slightly different? Number 3, will making this decision or not making this decision give you regrets later? Number 4, are you ready to take the leap or the first step? I invite you to write down your answers and thoughts in your journal or on a piece of paper. Additionally, at the moments of the biggest turmoil, I personally like reading soothing phrases and quotes like, "This too will pass," and the like. Sounds cheesy? Well, it works for me. It helps me shift perspective within seconds. Therefore, I recommend trying this out. Another therapeutic experience that gave me a lot of clarity was writing a book, a guide for expats who were going through the same struggles and knew the curse of living abroad. By writing a book about the topic that felt so close to my heart, I gave myself permission to process and embrace all the pain I was going through at the time. Writing got me unstuck and ended my procrastination. Writing that is taking action got me unstuck. I suddenly realized how I used living abroad and traveling as a way of escape. Procrastination helped me avoid making tough decisions, take responsibility, and make the changes I had to make. Eventually, I decided to return to my home country for 3 months. In my mind, it was a small risk that I could take. I kept repeating to myself that this was a reversible decision, not a life sentence. I treated it as a test that didn't require big commitments and declarations. I trusted that if I regretted my decision, I could change my mind and return to the UK. It was a difficult transition time for me. Initially, I suffered from reverse culture shock and wanted to return to the UK. But within a few months, everything changed. I didn't want to live in the UK anymore. Instead, I changed careers and purchased a flat in my home country. The temporary discomfort was a small price to pay for my new, more meaningful life. What was waiting for me on the other side? So this is what I found on the other side of my paralyzing fears. Happiness waiting for me in my country. The only way to get to the other side of fear was to stop procrastinating and make that F-word decision. Is there anything that stops you from taking a leap or that first step? Stop for a moment and answer this question as honestly as possible. Accept where you are. You're exactly where you should be right now. Where do you want to go next? I will finish this with a poem. Decisions, decisions, decisions. It's a disaster. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. I have not a single clue. Should I ask a friend? Maybe get a crystal ball? No, I don't know, so I won't do anything at all. Or maybe just one thing. I will relax and take a deep breath. Well, why should I bother? I'm not expecting imminent death. I'm letting this go. Nothing better comes to my mind. I'll take it easy and leave this mental chatter behind. I'm putting my pros and cons list back on the shelf. My brain is tired, so I let this decision make itself. There are no bad decisions and no perfect choices. I know it will all be fine. My heart now rejoices. If you like this story, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you have any thoughts or experiences that you would like to share, please use the comment section below. Thank you very much for listening.